used Melodyne for years, thinking it was the best. Then I interned at a studio and realized the pros were tuning vocals a totally different way. Two different tools doing the same job, getting completely different results. And if you pick the wrong one, your vocal always feels a little off. I had to find out for myself which was the best manual pitch correction tool, Melodyne or Autotune? Let me explain. So at that internship I mentioned, I got to watch Chris, the studio owner, work his mixing magic while I got to take notes. But he kept doing something I had never seen before. So when the session was over, I had to ask him. I said, "What plugin were you using to pitch correct those vocals?" He pulled it up and sure enough, it was Autotune in graph mode, something I had never attempted diving into before. So as a diehard Melodyne user, my logical next question was, why Autotune and why not Melodyne? Chris and his assistant looked at each other and then looked back at me with this weird smirk on their face. His assistant responded that Chris could go on for hours about why Autotune was far superior to Melodyne for manual pitch correction. After that, they wrapped up the session without giving me any more details than that. But I needed to know, so I began some personal research. And that's where I figured out whether or not Autotune really was the best. And what I found was kind of weird. So I ran a simple test. Same vocal, two versions, Melodyne versus Autotune graph mode, and I made clients pick blind. After dozens of sessions, it wasn't even close to a winner. It was basically 50-50, which sounds useless until you realize that the split is telling us exactly what each tool should be used for. So what made the difference? What made some artists like Autotune and some like Melodyne? And which one should you be using? Here's the part where you want to take notes, by the way. Hey, subscribe if you want more practical stuff like this, because here's the cheat sheet that makes the 50-50 split make sense. Okay, so the ones that preferred Melodyne were the artists who like a more natural, invisible vocal tone, one where it still sounded raw and you couldn't even tell there was tuning involved. On the other side of the coin were Autotune lovers who liked a more modern, polished, poppy sound. And that's where we see these tools' strong suits. Here's a quick cheat sheet. Melodyne is great for artists who want more of a raw, natural sound, so the tuning is kind of invisible. They want surgical control over the note shape. And they like advanced edits like polyphonic or chord fixes, which means you can edit one particular note in a chord. Autotune is great for artists who want a faster workflow, a more polished industry tightness, and stylized control, meaning you can make it sound more or less pitch corrected with one knob. So that's why Chris and his assistant smirked at me. Autotune was the perfect tool for the quick, modern polish they provide for their type of artists, who were mostly rap and hip-hop. Now, my favorite use of these tools is actually together. My go-to chain is Melodyne for the ugly moments, then a light Autotune in auto mode to glue it into that finished modern feel. But if you want super raw and honest, stop after Melodyne. So, was Chris right? Is Autotune the best pitch correction tool out there? Yes. In certain situations. Just remember, if you want invisible correction, start with Melodyne. And if you want modern tightness, reach for Autotune. And if you want the best of both worlds, use Melodyne to repair and Autotune to polish. If this was at all helpful and you'd like some more vocal mixing help, subscribe to the channel and stick around. If not, no worries. Can't wait to hear you on the radio someday.